Okay, I love these word problems. Tasha's planning an expansion of a square garden at the city, square flower garden in the city park. It's a square, so we know that the sides measure the same. Okay, and I'm going to use green because it's a square. So let's just say that this side measures x, and then so does this because uh, they're the same thing. If each side of the original garden is increased by 5 meters, aha, now we have to say 5 meters more. This one's equal to 5, right? This one's 5 meters more. So we've got this whole expansion going here. Okay? Then the total new area of the garden will be 196. Well, notice then this side measures x, whatever x was, plus 5 more. This is x plus 5 more. So what we have is x plus 5 times x plus 5, because it's length times width, is equal to what they say the new area will be, 196. Find the length of each side of the original garden. So we're going to multiply these together. We get x squared. I'm foiling right now. That's first x squared, outer, plus 5x inner, plus 5x, and last, plus 25, equals 196. We add them together. We get x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 196. But what I want to do is I want to take away this 196, and I want to then have it equal to 0. I want to get it all on one side and have it equal to 0. So x squared plus 10x. And what is this? Well, I'm doing 25 minus 196. Remember our trick? We can reverse the numbers. Say, instead of taking 196 from 25, I'm going to take 25 away from 196. And is that right? Yeah, that seems right. And then make it negative. So negative 171. Okay. Let me see. Yep. And I'm going to erase this, and then we have to factor this to find out what it becomes. So I actually know from looking at this, I can see that the digits of this, add up to 9, right? 1 plus 7 plus 1 is 9. So I know it's a multiple of 9. So I'm gonna try that as a technique first. I'm going to say maybe 9 has something to do with this. And if it does, it was just, I didn't know it beforehand. I'm just solving it now. But let's see. We've got one of each sign. Okay. And then what is that when we, what is that when we divide 171 by 9? I'm going to say 171 divided by 9 just to find out what it's equal to. That goes in once, 9. That's an 8 left over. And 9 goes into 81 9 times. 9 and 19. That's perfect because those two numbers multiply to negative 171, and they are, they need to be opposite signs so that we get a negative, and we need there to be a positive number left over. So we say negative 9, positive 19. Excellent. Nice. That worked out. It's always nice when things work out on camera instead of stumbling on camera. But that's a good example of where knowing your division rules, seeing that 1 plus 7 plus 1 is 9, and so that's divisible by 9. See how knowing that fact sped this problem up for me significantly. Okay, and it wasn't that I knew this answer beforehand. This is the first time I'm doing this. So handy to know these things. Now we got to say, okay, if x plus 19 is equal to 0, then that's x equals negative 19. Or the other one, x minus 9 equals 0, x equals 9. Well, we can't have an original side length of negative 19. This is one of those extraneous solutions. Can't be that. Can't have a negative side length. So it's got to be the original side length was 9 meters. There it is right there. Okay? The area of a playground is 320 yards. The width of the playground is 4 yards longer than its length. So if we had a side length of, let's say the length is x, okay? And the width, which we're going to multiply it by, is 4 yards longer, then that's x plus 4. And that makes the whole area equal to 320. So one of the lengths is x, the other length is 4 yards longer. Okay, so we got x times x plus 4, or x squared plus 4x is equal to 320. And what I'm trying to do here is get it all onto one side so that it's equal to 0 and I can solve for the zeros. X squared plus 4x minus 320 equals 0. And now I have to factor this. Let's see. X, we know we have one of each. And we've got to break down 320, negative 320, see what that adds up to. Well, I know that we could do, I'm not going to start with 1 times negative 320. Those are too far apart to give us just a 4 difference. But I'll go to 10. 10 times negative 32, that's still negative 22, not good enough. What about if I did 20? Actually, 20, doubling that and getting half of that, negative 16. That actually works. Look at that. Nice. Those combine together, add together to be the 4 that we need here in the middle. Great. I swear I'm just using techniques and tricks, and I didn't do this beforehand. This is my first time looking at it. Just happens to be. So again, what did I do there, just to talk you through what I did? I knew that to get negative 320, I could have done 1 times negative 320, but those are way too far apart to be 4 here, right? So I did something else I knew, just 10 times whatever it is when you drop the 0. I saw that they're still 22 apart. That's too far apart, so I went closer together, okay? And I just happened to land on it conveniently. So what do? We say that 20 is the positive number, and the 16 is the negative, and so now we're going to say x plus 20 could be the thing equal to 0. Or x minus 16 could be the thing equal to 0. And hopefully, based on the last problem, you're starting to catch on that these are lengths. We cannot have negative 20 as a, width or length of a playground. It doesn't make any sense. So 16, and it says, one of them is 16, and it says the width is 4 yards longer. So we want one where the length is whatever the given length is, and then the width is 4 yards longer. And we had solved for x, since we used x and x plus 4. X represented that shorter length, the length. So x equals 16 is the length, and therefore the width is 4 yards longer than that. So we've got a length of 16 yards and a width of 20 yards. And I messed this up on my first round recording it because I chose A, but actually it says that the width is longer and A doesn't have the width longer. So that was my mistake. Even I, after all this time, I still read the questions, carelessly, and then I choose the wrong answer. So some people also read it as 4 times longer, and that's going to give you obviously a different answer than if it's 4 yards longer. So yeah, hope that explaining all that makes sense. But obviously this is a good example of where you really need to go slowly because it's easy to make casual mistakes.